attendance for Regier.
Wasting time.
Johnson's on Regier behind the line of scrimmage.
What are you crying out for?
Okay, watch this.
Covered 97 yards.
Get this game over with now.
Me too.
I bet you if you put the Rams on, he thought Emmanuel was going to win this game. I'll tell you, I have real questions about it, though, when he leaves his quarterback in. He's calling the ball now for the rest of the game. He's fooling me. I mean, Kennedy had our starting quarterback in. I'd be upset. All you need is a third string fullback or tailback that knows the plays. The guy that played.
That's it again.
That's good offense for this time they're out of down. My feet are pulling up.
Fumble in the tighter backfield, recovered by Russell.
He came out in the punt formation. Well, I
That's
guess that's
intended
all
for
right.
the
get anywhere.
I'll go pass again.
Tough coaches do that. Remember that game that New York lost that way? Remember I was, that's it.
Pass complete to McDonald.
All they had to do was run. Run got 4 or 5 yards. About the 4 yards, they all do it that way, because that coach almost got fired for it. Almost got fired. Quit monkeying around with that guy.
Shit.
But now it doesn't matter.
Immediately following the game, we'll have the presentation of the trophy.
Well, at least they got a different.
Presentation of the trophy will be made immediately after the game on the track in front of the stand. So if you will stay off the track and let the presentation of the trophy, there'll be time to congratulate the players.
He had the ball to be a defenseman. I think it was the goalkeeper.
Fouled by number 53 on that play, Matt Humison. The Lakewood Royal game by a score of 53-13.
Nothing but the best year of All-Star game and I'm sure appreciate that. We're going to be doing well. Thanks, Bill. All right, that's it from down in the locker room. Now John Quinn will have a little trip back up here. In 15 minutes, we'll have the kickoff of the 17th annual Kings County, Tulare County All-Star football game. And the crowd's really pouring in now. It's going to be a delightful night out here. And Carol Beagle and Visalia, Ronald Family 198 would like to encourage you to come out and see the football game. In case you can, we're happy that you are tuned in to K100 at 99.7. Our roving sideline reporter and stand reporter Jim Criswell is going to have some interviews for us. But right now we got a couple of messages, and then we'll be right back. This is K100 99.7, the $1 million sound of music, and the voice of sports for Visalia. Three of them right here, Keith, and then back out here. Three of them. Glad to see how we're doing here for myself, for my own benefit. Particularly after I found Rich Ballaston 4 apiece. Rich Ballaston 4 commercials apiece. Yeah, all we're making now. I'll do a little cramming here. Maybe a timeout for this game. Halfway through the first quarter, we just put the red light on. I can't believe those NCAA basketball games. Seems like they just get playing and it's convenient. Yeah, they cut down the number of timeouts this year. Yeah, they don't get 5 timeouts a game anymore. About 7 minutes and 35 seconds away from kickoff time here at the Mineral King Bowl in Visalia. You're listening to K100 99.7. We'll be back with the starting lineups and the final pregame warm-up following These messages from our three sponsors, Pizza Hut, Visalia Lumber Company, and Nichols Payless Markets. Well, they don't have a big enough crowd to do it yet. Get your adrenaline flowing. I'll tell you what, anybody that says that these kids aren't going to be fired up tonight, they're wrong, because they're coming out to win this football game. I'm staying here with Roger Kelly, the good friend, old buddy. Roger and I built the sidelines in 1981, and I think probably one of the most masterful coaching jobs I've ever seen. He pulled off a 3-0 upset in kind of similar circumstances. Roger seemed like the West team had all the horses in it, right? He kept them off balance, and the three pulled down and all the players, and it's an outstanding victory. All of them. So that was one of those games where we didn't have any running backs, so the only running back got hurt before the ball game. So we moved the passing game, we moved it up and down the field from 10 to 10 and couldn't put it in. And then they wouldn't keep the troop close and turned it out. They played pretty good defense and held up. That's the same thing I think this type of ball game is tonight, because the fact that everybody's talking about the size of the West squad, and the East is not very big, but I see some pretty good sized kids on both sides. And we played against the kids from both of those teams, and the skill kids on the east side are pretty good, so I'd hate to discount Leo Robinson's crew, and I'm sure Mike Henson's crew will do an excellent too. I think we'll see a great ball game tonight. Shoot, pretty good one. Roger, what about Redwood Ranger football? Always a great football team, a real tradition at Redwood High School. What do you look forward to this fall? Well, we're very skilled returning people. Both our wideouts are back, our quarterback and our running back and the fullback. And then three-fourths of the secondary and the linebackers, so they're all starters coming back. If we can get some people up front, we're going to really be a good football team. I think we're going to last year we balanced pretty well because we had a great running back with the Barry and the Gonzalez kid. This year I think we're going to really throw the heck out of the ball, and I think we're going to be a good football team. And throw the ball, you always do, Roger, really well. I love when you guys show the screen passes on the Redwood High School football team. What's going on upstairs? Okay, Steve, might tell Roger, by the way, that Kayla Hedman's going to be broadcasting of Visalia football games this year. We'll be doing 6 of his games at Redwood. At the center of the field, is carrying our roving microphone to where the captains are meeting. Jim, can you tune all this in with the officials? Introduce to the captain. Take care by Jim. Let him go through instructions, and we'll go from there. Well, fellas, I'm Gene Simmons. I'm your referee for all being selected as captains representing the teams. You will go in the front. I'd like to introduce the other. Turn around. This is going to be your back judge. Mr. Warren's going to be your field judge. Mr. Guerrero is going to be your umpire. Your head linesman. So, don't bring out here many times. Have a pre-game. You gentlemen are comfortable in your business. Which of you are going to call it? Okay? choice of the gun. Okay, you're going to go out there. Just step right around the table over here, please. Receiving. Still kicking. Okay, there you go, Mike. We're all set. The West will receive and the East will kick off from the West Bowl. All right, sir, for Century. The broadcast Super Warm-Up crew will be back with the kickoff of tonight's game in 60 right now.
Number 18,
here at Oregon State University, and a man who still holds the scoring record for this game himself when he played it, Steve Brown. Steve has been with us on our broadcast crew on KTIP and K100 for quite a few years now, and we're just proud to both those guys and the work they do. And speaking of being proud, we're awfully proud this year to bring back to the Central Valley one of the outstanding young sports broadcasters we feel in America. He's been away doing professional baseball for the last couple of years, and he's doing our professional baseball this year, the Sandy Oaks on K100, and he is here tonight to do our play-by-play of this football game. And John, of course, is quite familiar with things here in the Valley. We're talking about John Quinlan, and John will be with us with the play-by-play and the kickoff, following the playing the national anthem by the COS marching band, which look to be in pretty good shape, by the way, at this particular time of the year. They're not in uniform. They look a little bit like the Stanford band. Right in front of them is Steve with a microphone. Outstanding job at the national anthem, and Steve Brown even applauds that trumpet there. I'll say one thing, that guy did a job, didn't you, Steve? You're right in front of him. I'll tell you what, if it's the backs and knee squad controls, the guy can play the trumpet. We got one so for a football game. Absolutely. Well, the officials are making their way out to the center of the field. They're going to place the football down the 40-yard line at the west end. King Bowl. We'd like to remind you that your radio dial is set at 99.7. That is K100 FM radio, Porterville, California, serving our Central Valley all day, every day, with the $1 million sound of music and the top sporting events of the year throughout the year here on K100. Okay, the receiving team for the West will be on the right-hand side of our vantage point from here. Over on the far sideline, that's going to be Jim Critchlow's vantage point, and he is right on the 50-yard line and right in the huddle with them. Steve Brown is along the near sideline, and he's going to be with the East team, and they're going to be kicking off. Steve, what's going on in that little hole right in front of you? Well, we've got the cover team here. We're getting them out. We're getting a fly up. We're counting heads, and we're going to cover that kick, money. All right, if they've got 11 guys out there, they've got a pretty good chance of doing it. We're going to see who's going to be kicking off. Receiving for the East team will be Roger Beavers, number 22 on the near sideline. His brother led the nation in kick returning for Porterville College last year. Leon Shaver, number 3, and Wayne Ross, number 35, are all back in triple receiving. And kicking it off for the East team, he is going to be Ruben Rodriguez. Here's a guy who's a quarterback who throws right-handed and kicks left-footed. He's an excellent punter and obviously a good kickoff man, too. Well, without any further ado, it's my pleasure to bring to you the play-by-play microphone of K100 and stick it right in the hands of John Quinlan.
Thank you, Marty, and hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you around the valley, and welcome to the 17th annual Tulare Kings County All-Star Game. And Ruben Rodriguez is about set to get it underway, and he delivers the kick. Deep for Leon Shavers, who will pay 2 yards deep from the end zone and elect not to return it. And at that spot, the West will start at the 20-yard line, first down and 10. Leon Shavers, an outstanding running back, and he will be starting in the backfield along with Alvin Ford. Leon out of Tulare Union, 5'9", 169, Ford at 5'11", 176. And the fellow who will be the quarterback will be Matt Jones, the all-Northern California QB. The West, having won the game last year, and the quarterback. Split to the left side. Flank to the left side, Jim Goss to the right side of the field out of the Ford. Jones drops to throw, and he will find the receiver, and it is complete to Dodge, and down he goes at the 21-yard line. So Dodge on the left side is turned around Steve Brown, and Jones tried to find him underneath the defensive end.
Well, Tom Clem, the inside linebacker, got out to make the stop, but it looked like that the West squad was trying to pull out something sneaky on the first play. They were going to hit the wide receiver on the curl and maybe flip it out to the back on the flea flicker, but good reaction by the defensive team to the squad.
The Western defensive line showcases Bob Brewer at center of the tackles. It'll be Jeff Say on the left side, Mike Whitacombe on the right. Second down and 10. Jones, the quarterback, a long count, and he will roll right on the option play, keep it to the 25. He's out to the 26, 57-yard line before Tommy Kilm out of Redwood. 5'10", the 172 inside linebacker is there to bring him down to short of the first down. Craig Wilson, a very fine tackle out of Redwood, was also there to assist. All right, Steve, you're starting early. You're the West. You're going to keep it on the ground. You're going to mix it up.
Well, I think that Hinson has played his cards. He's going to try to, mix it up a little bit, but he's obviously going to try to run the football. He wants to establish a running game, so you can look for him to keep it on the ground here.
Third down and 3. Darren Fagundes in, tight end strong right. That quarterback is Jones. He has split backs. See Leon Shaver and Alvin Point. Jones long count. Pitches out. Goes to Shaver. Peoples picks it up at the 23, 25. Spun around. There he goes at the 27-yard line. Leon Shaver jumped by Lindsey's well. And that means that the West will be forced to play. Let's go to the other side to Jim Critchlow.
The thing that's happened right now is that the linebacker, and in particular, it's Kurt Thompson from Menachie, has gotten him twice in first plays. The very first pass, he was right in on Jones, made him throw the ball early. That time, he was in on Jones, who forced a bad pitch, and Kurt Thompson has been the outstanding player so far for the East defense.
Wayne Ross out of Tulare Union will drop back to his own 12-yard line, where he will take the snap. Deep to return will be Todd Johnson and Jesus Manuelos. It is a low snap. Ross gets the kick away at the 18-yard line, and it sails on the far side in the direction of Todd Johnson. He has it at the 35, 40, 45, and he's out to the 50 and spun down inside the 50 at the West 48-yard line. So return from about the 35 down to the 48 of the West, where Alan Flores is there to bring him down. But you're also standing on the Critchlow on the far sideline and Steve Brown to the near side. Let's talk a little bit now about the East offense and tell you who will handle the controls. It'll be Ruben Rodriguez at quarterback with Steve Sand, and Jeff Bavaria will be at the fullback with Sand at the running back. Coming to the near side of the field is Ken Davis, who will start at the flanker. Spread out on the left side is Todd Johnson, a 4-man front, now a 5-man look for the West defense. In motion, rolling as Rodriguez looks for a receiver, falls underneath, and it passes incomplete. Let's go to Steve Brown downstairs.
Hey, John, with Kurt Thompson turning after a series of plays, Jim Critchlow picked it up, but there was nobody blocking you. In the pass play, you got in and you forced the pass, and then in the lane play, you seemed to take the punch on the quarterback and kind of force a bad pitch. Was there anybody blocking you under the stack? They were stuck at the front. Nobody could block it. So as far as you wide open, you just hitting your hands back and going.
Okay, John. Second down and 10. Rodriguez has the East team at the West 48-yard line. Drops to throw. Sets up at the 42. He's going to look deep over the middle. He's got a receiver. At the center tag, to the 10, to the 5. And rolling on into the end zone. It was Jesus Manuelos from 48 yards out. And very quickly the East strikes, Monty.
John, we were talking before the ball game about Rodriguez's arm. He threw that ball in the air 52 yards. Jim Critchlow on the far sideline has an observation. Jim, what they did that time, Money, is they flooded the zone, and then they also picked off the free safety on a very, very smart pass pattern. He came down, the inside man ran a curl route, and then he broke it off to a deep flag. The wide receiver on this side ran right behind the safety who had frozen in position, and Manuelos was wide open on a perfectly executed pass. And here's Steve Brown with it. Hey, since on the pass play, what was your route? What were you guys trying to do? We were trying to... The guy on the right side was trying to pick the defense safety over on the other side, and I would come right behind him with him. Behind him, and cut behind him. The pass was right on the money. Great catch. Was that there? All right. Good job.
Johnson due to hold with Ruben Rodriguez to attempt the extra point, and now we have a timeout down on the field. Rodriguez from Woodlake, and he found Jesus Manuelos out about the 23-yard line, and he really scooted on him for a touchdown from 48 yards out, and it is 6-0 the East leading. And Steve Brown, I know downstairs you were also mentioning that you thought the East would put it up in a hurry.
Well, I think that a couple years ago, in this football game, Coach Robinson, he had Mike Young, and Mike Young set a record of 11 catches and 175 75 or 80 yards. And I think he figured out real quick in this ball game that we can throw the football against these guys. We may not be able to sustain the running game, but I know we can throw it. And they just put 6 big ones on the board.
Let's go to Jim Crutchlow.
John, the reason for the timeout was the quarterback, Ruben Rodriguez, had to change his shoes. He's a left-footed kicker, and he had to put his kicking shoe on. I would watch now because Kurt Thompson's been such a dominating force, and nobody is picking up the pitch man. I don't know who he has contained out there, if it's a cornerback or whoever, but somebody's going to have to take the pitch man. I look for the West squad to start running the option a little bit more often.
All right, the East will look for the extra point left to right. Thompson is lined up as a blocking back on the right side. Tom Johnson will hold, and they'll try the extra point from the 10-yard line. The snap is good, the ball is down, the kick is up, and the kick is no good. It is off to the left, and with a timeout on the field, 9:47 to go in the first quarter, it is the East striking first on a 48-yard touchdown pass. Ruben Rodriguez to Jose Manuelos. We'll be back.
2 commercials right here. 2 commercials.
Pick me up, yeah. I was so low. Rodriguez to deliver the kick for the East. It will sail to Leon Shavers, who fumbles it at the 1, goes into the end zone, and he will touch it down there. And the West will have it first down at 10, and it's on 40-yard line. 2 plays, 48 yards. Jesus Manuelos hooked up with Ruben Rodriguez for the touchdown, and then Rodriguez, who was a very good kicker, saved the extra point attempt wide to the left, and that's where we stand with 9:35 to go in the first quarter. They have played 16 previous games in this series, with the West having won 9 and the East having won 7. Let's go to Steve Brown.
Ruben Rodriguez in the sidelines. Ruben, what was the pass play? Did you see something in the defense that came off of the sideline? Yeah, four people take the option. It was a close better. Usually they get mixed up and go with the guy that goes first. And he takes away, the defense to score the other guy. And it was pretty well worked because they stuck to the run, I guess. And he laid it right in. It was a beautiful pass. Thanks a lot.
Alvin Ford on the first play from Scrimmage from the 20-yard line carries it out well past the 35 to about the 46-yard line. It was a pitch sweep by Mike Hill out of Porterville, and will attend Porterville College was right there to bring him down. So it is a first down for the West, and their first down of the night. They will have the football just over the 35, resting a nose short of the 36-yard line. Offensively up front for the West, Bob Brewer is the center out of Dinuba. Another Dinuba. Sean Lopez at the left guard, James Dino out of Lemoore at the right guard, working from the right hash mark at the 46-yard line. Backs are split, Shaver and Ford, and a quick handoff goes to Shaver, right straight up the middle, across the 40-yard line to about the 41, where he is brought down by the interior of the line. It looked like Dan Clayton, who is a very quick nose guard out of Gold and Westerville 10 COS, was there to make the play. Jim, you had a better vantage point.
Running the option play, and they're setting it up inside. The one thing that we didn't cover in the pregame is a kicking game, and right now with Ruben Rodriguez in high school, you can't run the ball out of the end zone if it's kicked in that far. So when it's kicked in there, it sets him up on the 20, makes him have to go 80 yards for a score.
Gain of 5. It is now 2nd and 5 from the 41-yard line. Jones will set his line. Tight end strong right. Jones on the option of mix-up, spins, and he goes to the 45 and to the 46. So a gain of 5 on a play of confusion in the backfield, and again it is Dan Clayton who is there to bring him down.
Again, it was the first man that got in there. Kurt Thompson from the outside linebacker spot was back in the backfield once again that time, John. He's the one that messed it up.
Let's set up the West of the offensive line. Jeff Shea, left tackle for the West. Mike Lippico with the right tackle spot from Terraria Western and Lenore, respectively. Jim Dodds is the wide receiver, who will immediately come split to the left side or the near side of the field. Aaron Foot, the tight end, lined up on the right side. The backs are split. Alvin Ford and Leon Shaver going to the left, and it is Shaver to the right. With a long count is Jones. Jones drops, looks over the middle, flips the pass out complete, and it looks like Foot, the tight end, there to handle it in East territory at the 41-yard line. Tommy Kelm was there to bring him down. So they run that tight end past as the West, and moving his way over the middle is Aaron Foot. Russell Cox of Stratford was also there to make the play, but it's enough for a first down. Defensively now for the East, they will make one quick change. Coming into the lineup will be Rick Fafaria, and they will now make wholesale changes as Mike Brown out of Porterville also enters the contest, and coming out is Don Morell of Lindsay. Second first down of the game. The drive started at the 20-yard line when Leon Shaver was unable to return the kick. He fumbled it at one and then went to the end zone, and he downed it there. Matt Jones out of Lemoore, who's on his way to Oral Roberts High School, sends Leon Shaver's in motion to the left of the near side of the field. He's outside Dodds. There's the pitch. Horn's got it. Horn turns from the 40. He's inside the 40 and down to the 47-yard line, where he's finally knocked out of bounds. Ken Davis out of Porterville was there. He also got an assist from the Padre, Mike Hill, who is attending Porterville College. Alvin Horn, 2 carries, 19 yards, 16. The first time play, the second time to the east sideline, west sideline, and Jim Critchlow.
Actually, on this side of the field, Ken Davis came up very quickly to make the stop, and that is going to be a key right now. If the corners from the east team can come up and make the stop, they can shut down this option pitch. Right now, linebackers are continuing the quarterback well. It's just a matter of whether the corners can come up and make the force.
The West moving right to left across the radio dial, and Jones will bring them out. They're working the sixth play of this drive that started at their own 20-yard line. They are now working at the east, 38. Jones from the far hash mark, drops the throw, pumps once. He looks for Dodds. He had Dodds wide open, and then he threw short. It fell incomplete at the 15-yard line. Defensively on the play was Jesus Panuelos of Exeter, who was there to cover him, and apparently very heavy pressure was applied that time by Mike Brown. So it will now bring up third down and 7 from the east, 37-yard line. Let's go to Steve Brown.
Well, just a quick report on one of our linebackers, Dan Clayton, had the wind knocked out of him, but he's going to be okay. So far in this drive, the rest has looked very impressive, John, so we just got to keep our fingers crossed, keep an eye on him.
Impressive indeed. Dodds comes to the near side of the field. Jones now turns around, perhaps an audible at the line as he talks to Shaver, hands off on a delay from the 40 to the 45, breaks 3 tackles, high steps his way to the east 30 and down inside the 20 to the 27-yard line. Well, he really rolled his way forward. That's enough for the first down, and Steve Brown a second and third effort that time to plus several tackles before Todd Johnson could finally bring him to the third.
Well, that's an example of Leon Shavers. He's only 5'9", about 175, 80 pounds, but boy, he's got great leg strength. He's got tremendous drive. He keeps his body tilt leaning forward, and he broke about 3 tackles on his way to that first down. A good one, he broke out a cleans tackle, so you know it was really work.
Fourth first down for the West, Leon Shaver, 3 carries, 15 yards, 5-yard average. Dodds comes to the left side. The backs are split. Matt Jones is the quarterback. The line is centered, he's strong right. Jones with left-handed pitch. Big move by Shaver. It is batted around, and the East going to come up with it at the 40-yard line. They're over 40. Damian Curley out of Woodlight was there to recover, and boy, the East has to be happy. Steve Brown, that ball was kicked around, and it came right up, angle hop style with Damian Curley right in front of you.
Well, I think Curley's going to stay in the ballgame. I'd like to talk to him, but it was a great job. The pitch, they really didn't get, they put a lot of pressure again on Thompson on the quarterback. The pitch was not a good one. They got the pitch out, and I didn't think that the ball carrier had the ball at all, and Curley kind of dribbled a little bit. I kept yelling, get on the ball, but he came up with it. It's a big turnover for the East squad.
And that is the first turnover of the game. And now the East gets the football back at its home 43-yard line. Rodriguez has a touchdown pass of 48 yards. He rolls right. Play action. Rolls to the sideline. He's going to be took down pass for a loss and also hit as he is out of bounds right near the 38-yard line. And that'll bring blows from the crowd. Leon Fagundes was there to make sure that he was out of bounds, buddy.
John, I'd say we've away from the football game for just a minute. We got one of the most beautiful sunsets up here from where we are that you've ever seen. And incidentally, the crowd is really thrilled. Mentioning that it's a late arriving crowd tonight. We've got a great crowd, a tremendous start to what ought to be a heck of a football game here tonight. Hope you're enjoying it, folks, here on 99.7 K100 FM radio.
Second play of this drive, a loss of about 5. We'll call it second down and 15, although it's still bordering second and 14. From the 39-yard line, the East will now bring like the flanker Ken Davis, right. He will go into the backfield with Jeff LeBert. There's a reverse. And the handoff to the 40. And out to near the 45-yard line. So it was a receiver reverse to the near side. And there to handle it was Steve Sen, who was playing down to the left. And Sen launches up to the 45, a gain of about 7. So it'll bring up third down. Let's go to Jim Critchlow.
That play is designed for Steve Sen. He ran the wing T formation at Golden West, and I saw him this year personally carry the ball for about 150 yards in 2 different ball games off of the wingback reverse. I was going to try to get that in before he ran that one.
Gain of 7 with ball at third down and 8. Wide receiver Ken Davis to the near side of the field. And flank right. There's Rodriguez in traffic with Lindley knocked down and too late to play. He finds Todd Johnson at the west 44-yard line. And he goes down immediately. offensively. There defensively was Gabriel Vasquez out of Dinuba, a quarterback on the right side. So down he goes at the 44-yard line. We got a penalty marker, as we said, at the 42-yard line. But, Jim, it looked like the receiver Johnson was able to throw underneath the defense, and it was a pretty good throw.
Well, it was an excellent pass, John. He did curl in. The penalty is going to be a legal procedure against the East squad. It was a first down. I don't know if that. A well-thrown pass. He threw that ball from the far hash mark over right in the middle here in the 42-yard line. A great pass.
First penalty of the night, and now they will bring the football back. And the East will have the first down negated. Let's check in with Steve Brown at the East sideline.
Steve's right in the middle there. I'll tell you what, he ought to know what's going on with the officials. Right at this moment, we're disagreeing with the officials because of the completed pass. I think they're trying to stop the football. We'll see what happens.
The voice in the background was that of Leo Robinson saying they only needed 6 yards. And at the 41-yard line, they will bring it back. And it will be second down, and will pull it 11 from the 41. And now they move it from the 41 to the 42. By the way, the officials tonight, the referee Gene Simmons, the umpire Charlie Guerrero, the linesman Mike Brown, the number one, the line judge, the back judge Joe Jimenez. Let's check on the other side with Jim Critchlow.
I don't know what they're going to call it. There's Steve's with Coach Robinson right now, but he and I both like the screen pass. Let's go over to Steve and see what he's got coming. Two left pass pattern, which is trips on the left side, and we're dragging the tight end, the left end underneath. They're trying to overload it and bring somebody back underneath and hit him.
And they're now, Steve, going to mark the penalty again. So first they spotted it at the 41, then the 42. Now they will say illegal procedure with the men in black and white and put it back at the 39-yard line, which will bring up third down. And I'm going to call it about 13 yards from my vantage point. And now the East will come out leading 6-0 on a 48-yard pass play from Ruben Rodriguez and Jesus Panuelos. And Rodriguez in at the quarterback spot will direct his offense. We'll see if he is. If that is Rodriguez, he will drop to his left. Fade to throw. Gets pressure. Works the pass, and it's incomplete at the 49-yard line. The intended receiver was Jesus Panuelos again. And Panuelos looked a little unhappy, Steve Brown, because I think he might have turned the wrong way. He left his hands together.
Well, it looked like that he was upset because I think what happens is the defensive line got in on Rodriguez before he wanted to throw the ball, and he was open. He wanted that ball, and they did clear it out. He was open. They just couldn't get it to him.
It'll bring a fourth down for the East, and Ruben Rodriguez would stay in the punt. The football spotted at the 39-yard line.
Carpet with a 10-year warranty? Yeah, that's right. Thompson Ford covering at 591 West Olive in Porterville. Now there's Armstrong Carpet with a 10-year wear guarantee.
The Carpet here will have a short lot warranty body mold with all of the games that they play, and now Rodriguez working the trap gets the punt away from the 30. He will sail it deep, aiming for an Alvin Bourne, and he watches it hit at the 10 and go out of bounds near the 5-yard line, and that's where they're going to spot it after 5. Beautiful kick from the 39 on the East all the way down to the 5, and there you go. There's no doubt about it. An excellent kick by Ruben Rodriguez. Steve, your thoughts on that? You have Rodriguez next to you.
When you say him, Ruben Rodriguez, we know it's a great kick. If you guys can keep him performing all these acts that are going on here with all these penalties, what happened? Did they can't do this for a legal procedure? Did they go right after you? What happened? It seemed like Jesus was a little upset. He was open. He just couldn't get the ball. It looked like asthma, and some of those guys were looking for the pressure on you. Okay, John.
56-yard punt by Ruben Rodriguez, Steve's guest. And now the East West offense will have it first down and 10 at its own 5-yard line. And at quarterback is Jones. He hands him up, and with a big ball up the middle, it looked like it was Alvin Ford, and that's who it was. Out to about the 15-yard line, where he is brought down by Todd Johnson, the free safety. So Todd Johnson had to work on him on the East to keep him from breaking it wide open. And that'll bring up second down and 1, a gain of 9. A couple of interesting notes with 5:02 to go, and the East leading 6-0 on Rodriguez's pass is their total offense in the ball game. As we check the stats, the West offense rushing 55 yards. The East has only 2. All right, Jones comes out, works in the left hash mark, just over the 15-yard line. Handoff goes to Horn, right up the middle, looking like a little trap play, and he gained about a yard where the defense came in a hurry. Done well out of Lindsay. Looks very good, Steve Brown, as a member of that East defense, and it's very close to the first down, and we'll see if he's got it. Yep, he sure does. Well, Morel's doing a job, isn't he, Steve?
The defense, they're really outmanned. They got some real great size on that offensive line for the West, but they're doing a good job. And what they've got to do right now to be more consistent. And people have got to wrap up. They've missed a lot of tackles simply for not playing out good technique. So they're going to concentrate on wrapping hard and only driving through their tackles.
5 first downs for the West, 29 yards in the game for Alvin Horn. He's in the backfield with Leon Shaver, and there's Shaver with the football at 20, 30. He's out to the 35, 40. He's being chased. He's dragged down at the East 45-yard line. No bunkers are down in the field, but Kent Davis out of Porterville had to chase him down, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the West gets a big burst from the 20, right on down to the 43-yard line. Leon Shaver, what a job.
Well, he's got 4.5 speed, so that tells you how fast Kent Davis has got to be to catch him from behind. Kim Fitzwell. That time they ran the option series, and he broke 2 tackles. Right now, the East is tackling with all arms. They've not laid a shoulder pad on anybody except for the free safety blitz from the last play before this one. So they've got to start using their shoulder pads.
Alvin Horn has 4 carries, 29 yards, 42 yards in the ball game. Leon Shaver, 93 yards for the West on offense. And now tucked in the backfield. Jones was looking for help, and he certainly did not get it, except in the form of Doc Jerseys. Mike Hill out of Porterville, whose mom and dad and the entire family are here. So on the first down and 10 play, he is dropped on back at the 44-yard line. The East defense, Dan Clayton, nose guard, Kurt Wilson and Don Morrell for tackles, Rick Bavaria and Brad Lansadell also into the ball game.
They put Lansadell in, John. He's a 250-pounder. He's in the middle of the line right now. They just put him in and he's been playing offense the whole ball game.
Coming out of the ball game, Kurt Thompson for Menachie, and the football spotted back at the 45-yard line. We initially put it down at the 44, then over the yard back. Second down and 15. Jones is the quarterback. Has a slot man left. It is Alvin Floyd inside the wide receiver, dropping the throw under heavy pressure as Jones dumps it off for Horn at the line of scrimmage at the 45, and he goes down immediately. May have lost a half yard. Kent Davis was there to provide the coverage, and also Jones has been under very heavy pressure, Jim Critchlow. Damian Twilley, the quarterback.
The guy that missed him that time, he went in from the outside, had a clear shot at the quarterback. He just went over the top of his head.
2:52 left to go here in the first quarter, 6-0. The East is leading on the strength of a 48-yard touchdown pass from Roland Rodriguez, good like, to Jesus Manuelos of Exeter. In passing tonight, 3 of 4, 14 yards for the quarterback, Matt Jones, out of Lenore. Alvin Floyd is flanked out to the right side. Wide receiver, Gabriel Vasquez to the near side. Dropping the post, setting up the screen. Here's Jones. He dumps it off the 1 for 50. He's to the 40, 35. Up the near sideline, and he tippy-toes out of bounds at the 33-yard line. He was poked out of bounds. Jesus Manuelos was there, along with Mike Brown of Porterville, and we also had a player shaken up. Downstairs, it was Dan Clayton, the nose guard. So the game from about the 45 all the way down to the 33-yard line, or just shy of it. And it was on a third down play, so it should bring a 4th and 1. Let's check with Jim Critchlow.
John, you know it's just a matter of time until they came to that screen. They're getting such a tremendous outside pressure from the outside linebackers of the East team that they have to come to that screen because the corners are bailing out of there going deep with people, and it's wide open on the screen. We're in the officials' timeout for amusement right now.
I'm kind of surprised, Jim, that they haven't stayed on the ground with the success of Shaver and Horn tonight.
I am too, John. They're going to punch it down basically all night, but every once in a while you do have to throw one in, and that's the safest pass to throw. And especially with the East just tackling with their arms right now, they have still yet to lay shoulder pads on anybody.
Oh, and here's another thing to think about as we go down to Steve Brown. It looks like about a yard to go for the first down, 4th and 1.
A little bit less than a yard, John. Been 4th and about 1, a little bit less than 8. But right now, I think that it's nothing to panic about. There's about 3:27 left in the first quarter. The West team is starting to put some things together, but this East team is putting a lot of pressure from the inside. Jimmy called that correctly right. It was only a matter of time. We had a call from the sidelines, but nobody reacted to the screen pass, so it's just a matter of recognition and reacting.
Steve, here comes the big lineup. Like a seal, 247 at one tackle, and they got Anselman Say in there as well. So it is 4th and less than a yard. At quarterback is Jones. The split backs by Leon Shaver and Alvin Horn. Double tight. The handoff goes to Shaver. He's got the first down easily at the 30-yard line. And Steve, we were talking about that, and as the West picks up the first down, they put all the big guys in there. Settle 245, Liverpool 250, and Castillo 247. How do you stop them?
Well, John, all you can do is you can get down in your defensive stance. You can fill all the gaps and try to submarine underneath and stop the momentum. But Stewart, he just blew his man out of there, and they just ran right behind him, and they picked it up with 3 to spare. So there's not a whole lot you can do. Just jam the gaps and go after it.
There's the 6th first down for the West. Jim Critchlow ready on the other side. We'll check in with you, Jim, as soon as we get the opportunity to do so. All right, it is first down and 10 for the West. They are in East territory at the 30-yard line, moving right to left across the radio dial. The East has 5 people offensively. A front fumble apparently on the snap, and falling right on it was Matt Jones back at the 31-yard line. Total offense for the West tonight, 117 yards. That's a loss of a couple. It'll bring up second down and about 12.
From football to bowling for a second, Porterville Ranger Family Bowling Center is having a special budget mixed fours league on Tuesday this season. Give Bob Doyle a call at 781-3090. Also ask about that Hawaiian Vacation League. Incredible. That's Porterville Ranger Family Bowling Center.
1:44 to go in the first quarter. 6-0 the East. Now over the West is threatening with Jones at the controls at the East 32-yard line. He will roll right. He will look to throw. He's got a tight end wide open over the middle, and the pass is complete at the 15, down to the 10, but a fumble. Scott Cunningham caught it, fumbled, and let's see if the West or the East recovered. I think the West got it back. Yep, they sure did at the 12-yard line. Jim, you had a pretty good angle on the play.
Sure did. That time, Scott Cunningham did a great catch. He took it right out of the hands of Ken Davis, and then was recovered by number 42, Alan Flores. What I wanted to get to you a few minutes ago is they're going to start throwing a little bit on first down, which is a surprise out of this team, except they got a great quarterback in there who can throw the ball with Matt Jones.
7th first down of the game for the West, and that gave them the 42 down to the 12-yard line. First down and 10. That also means now that the West has an opportunity to get another first down inside the 2-yard line. Passing offense, 5 of 6 for 44 yards to Matt Jones, who will not be quarterbacking this coming fall. He'll be playing baseball at Oral Roberts. All right, first and 10. Jones rolls. Option. He'll keep it himself. He's inside the 10. Split down, fumble, and I think the East got it back. Jones spinning inside the 10. Apparently jumped at the football. The East says it has it. That Lansdale is there, and indeed the East does recover.
Lansdale knocked it loose, John, but Todd Johnson got on top of it. Best I could tell, Jim Critchlow was right there. What did it look like, Jim?
Well, exactly as you called it that time again. One time, somebody got a helmet on the ball. I couldn't see, and then there was a great job, just a good job of stripping the ball out of the offensive quarterback's hands. He looked like he was going to be able to carry it a long ways in for the touchdown, and all of a sudden, the swarming defense got to him.
A turnover for the East is the second of the game for the West, and now the East will take over. Their football at about its 7-yard line. First down and 10 with 1:12 left to go in the first quarter. 6-0. The East with football in the lead on a 48-yard touchdown pass over Rodriguez to Jesus Panuelos. Rodriguez falls down, hands off to the first back after the 10 to the 14-yard line, and getting up with Steve Senn. So Steve Senn carries out, and he is just shy of the 15. Defensively, George Atzma, 6'2", 260-pounder out of Tulare Union, and the tackle was there to make the play. And it'll bring up second down and 5.
I think you can stretch your shopping dollar at Nichols Payless Markets in Farmersville, Woodlake, and Exeter without giving up quality. Nichols Payless Markets offer nothing but top quality merchandise at low prices because of their 3-store buying power.
Ken Davis and Steve Bavaria are in the backfield. And here's a handoff to Senn on the reverse. The flanker, he's out to the 15, sprung forward for about 2 yards, and apparently short of the first down on the second down play. So Senn, for the second time tonight, Steve Brown carries on that particular play where it's the reverse. The guy is flank left, Steve Senn.
Well, three, John, if we can get a right offensive tackle to stay with his block on George Atzma and get him to flow and seal him off, I think we can sit out here in the flat. We could some yardage.
Senn 3 carries for 16 yards in the game. And it'll bring up third down and 1 at the 17-yard line in blue jerseys tonight. The East squad in the white jerseys, the West. Wide receiver coming to the near side of the field, a pair of them. The tight end, Damian Taylor on the outside, on the inside, or Damian Furley. And then on the inside of him is Ken Davis. Now, Weather got the sounded, ending the first period of play, and the first 12 minutes of history for the East, leading the West 6-0. Monty Moore here, and let's take this commercial word.
Come on, now we go 60. Go 60 here. 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Start picking it up a little closer. 60. Are you, mic on?
King ball in Visalia, thrown in one for the East, and it's a quarterback keeper. And Chris Mendonca, who is now committed to the ball game to handle the quarterbacking chores out of Mount Whitney High School, is there to get the first down. So it is Ruben Rodriguez for the first 12 minutes. He throws a 48-yard touchdown pass to Jesus Banuelos, and now Chris Mendonca, Steve Brown comes into the game.
Same sideline man got that first down. Had the penalty.
You find this hard to believe?
Look at the sideline pass. Chris Mendonca's first throw of the night.
All right, we'll see as they send the wide receiver, Todd Johnson, to the left side. They have a wingman to the right. Baxter strolling left. Mendonca drops to throw. Will he look for Johnson? Yes, he will. The pass is a sideline route, complete at the 32. Stutter step out across the 35 and to the 41-yard line of the East. Another first down for Leo Robertson's crew. And on the offense, Todd Johnson was there to make the play. He was finally rattled around out of bounds by Mark McCaleb, who was there.
Hey, he faked McCaleb right off his feet, John. That's what happened that time. How he got so wide open. He made a curl inside fake and he came back to the sideline. And there's Steve on the sideline now.
Todd Johnson on the sideline with Todd Johnson. Todd just made a great catch. He made a great phone recovery. And having a good ball game. What's going on out there with that defense versus that West offense?
What do you mean, West offense?
What did they run? They fumbled. They just ran that sweep. And someone hit him. The ball blew around. So the right spot at the right time. All right, Todd. Keep it up.
That's the right call, being at the right place at the right time. It was a 21-yard pass play. And on the first down play, 1st and 10 from the 41, it is a gain of 2 as Reyes Jimenez takes an inside handoff. The young man out of Woodlake from Chris Mendonca, the quarterback. He gains a couple, and it is now 2nd down and 8. Mendonca comes out at quarterback. Has his tight end lined up strong right. His 2 wide receivers to the right side, Ken Davis and Jeff Bavaria. Rolling Mendonca. He's in trouble. He throws in traffic and complete, catching the football at the 47-yard line. One of the wide receivers, who was the tight end, Damian Curley, out of Woodlake, who was there to handle it. Stuart Laycroft was to bring him down. On the 2nd and 10 play, it'll be well short of the first down, bring up 3rd down and 4. Jim Critchlow on the west side.
He's trying to get his troops to get into the defensive back or offensive backfield. There's been very little pressure put on either of the East quarterbacks yet. They're getting all kinds of time to throw. Jimmy Dodds has come in to replace Mark McCabe at that right side cornerback where he completed the pass just 3 seconds ago.
6-0 East with 10:44 to go in the first half. Mendonca drops on 34 and looks to throw. He breaks out pressure, but he's going to be dragged down inside his own 40, 37-yard line. It was Tony Fagundes and Tony Isolato. Isolato, the tackle out of Hanford. Fagundes out of Tulare Western also there to apply the pressure. So, from the West 49, the East is dropped all the way back to its own 37-yard line. And a very big loss of 14 yards. Steve Brown on the east side line.
John, just to look at Coach Robinson, what we were trying to do on that play, we wanted Chris to fake the sideline until we looked to the inside, but too big a rush just didn't have the time to get it off.
It'll bring up 4th down and 14. And the ball on the 37-yard line of the East. It will also bring up a punting situation for Ruben Rodriguez, when he will drop back to his own 25. That's one punt tonight for 56 yards. He planted it inside the West 5-yard line. Gets a good snap. The left-footed kicker gets it away, and what a gorgeous spiral. And it is handled by Horn and his own 13. He's out to the 20, 25-yard line, where he's immediately spun down and he did a cartwheel as he was brought to the turf. 9:29 to go in the first half. 6-0 East. West takes possession. Let's go with penalty marker at the 41-yard line. Steve, I didn't see it. Did you?
Well, it looked like maybe an offsides on the cover team. I'm not sure. It could have been a procedure, but we'll just have to wait and see. One is getting ready to call for us right now. All right, there we got it.
Offsides against the receiving team. That's right. And a kick like that, they may not take that penalty.
I don't think so. It was 4th down and 14. West has the ball at its own 25-yard line, but another gorgeous kick. Maybe the only difference for that one was IND, but did give Horn an opportunity to return it pretty well.
Okay, Coach Robinson decided to take the penalty. We're going to kick it again and see if we can't get even better field position out of it.
Well, why not, Monty?
John's Optique at 114 West Main in downtown Visalia has the Valley's largest selection of designer frames and sunglasses. John's Optique can save you money by filling your eyeglass prescriptions. Why don't you stop in Monday and check their great selections? John's Optique, 114 West Main in downtown Visalia. Our broadcast tonight on K100 99.7 FM is originating from Visalia. On the Mineral King Bowl, we've got a good crowd on hand now. They were late getting here, but they're here it's a beautiful night, a great football game, and we hope you're enjoying the coverage, this unique sideline coverage with Steve Brown on the near sideline, and Jim Critchlow on the right, and once again, our play-by-play and sports director, John Quinlan.
9:29 to go in the first half. The East scored first and early. 6-0 on a 48-yard pass play, only their second play in their opening series. It covered 48 yards to Jesus Panuelos. But for now, Ruben Rodriguez can punt it again. It'll be 4th down and 9. And Steve Brown, the field position isn't that much better when you think about it.
Well, I think what we're hoping for is maybe Ruben will get off a 60-yarder. It's going back, I can tell you.
And if somebody doesn't run it back, this is going to be interesting to see. Jim Critchlow over on the far side knows exactly where that last one would have been.
And the deep man, Alvin Horn, standing in his own 10. Gabriel Vasquez at the 27. It is a low snap and a fake. And a pass to Steve Sett at the 30. 45, 50. He's down to the west 45. He's to the 39. First down is, well, I guess you could say it's Steve Brown. But you know that was coming. It was a
John, I didn't really know if they do it. It was kind of a trick with me, okay? They get out there, and what they put Todd Johnson out there, the wide cover man, was to run that man off. And if the man ran with Todd Johnson, we're going to throw the quick screen out here, and it worked.
Good thing I recognize that guy's helmet. Stan carries it for 19 yards from the 42-yard line down to the 39, where it'll be first down and 10 for the East. So as soon as we turn this over, we got to switch it around.
John, before the game, both Steve and Jim Critchlow said the smaller team, the underdog, usually pulls off the little trick plays like that, and there it was early in the game.
8:55 to go. First down and 10. Madonka keep dropping. Big trouble, and down he goes all the way back at his own 45-yard line. Madonka looked like he might have slipped, kind of got his feet together, Steve Brown, and he dropped back. We'll look to see if there's a marker down in the field. I'm not so sure that there is. But no. Anyway, all the way back, Madonka dropped at the 45-yard line. -6 rushing for the East. Let's go to Jim Critchlow.
After screen passes seem to affect the time. The reason he was sacked was he was looking at the 14. Everybody down here was covered by linebackers and D-backs, and that's the best time to pass defense.
All right, the East will come out, keeping the drive alive with a 19-yard pass play out of a front formation. And now Madonka, the quarterback, has split backs in the backfield. Two receivers to the left side. There is the delay. Hand off to Ken Davis out of Porterville. He's across the 45 to about the 49-yard line. A gain of 4. And on second and 25, it'll now bring up third down and 19. Tony Padunas out of Tulare Western. An outside linebacker was there to bring him down. By the way, this is the 17th game in the series. And there's no question about it that the West has dominated over the years. The last East win was back here in 1981, 3-0. So there's a timeout on the field. 7 minutes, 45 seconds to go. 6-0 East. We'll be back with more in a moment. East with a third down, 23 play. Let's go to Steve Brown.
When we get called, well, we're going to go with the same cross pattern and scored on this time. We're going to pull him up short and go from the middle from yards. Go for the first down.
7:45 to go in the first half. Madonka looking deep. Pass over the middle. He is tipped and almost intercepted. Scott Wood was there and had it in and out of his hands, and looking to come up with it was Mark McCaleb out of Avonhall at his own 30, and it'll now bring up fourth down and Fritz. You couldn't come any closer to coming up with an interception. Two fellows had the paws on it.
Oh, they sure did, John. It was great drop by the linebacking crew that time. They were going to whip the ball up short of the secondary, but the linebackers dropped so deep they dropped 20 yards back, and that's what broke up the play for the West also. So let's see what happens on this punt. I'm going to hit down the end zone.
Fourth and 23, dropping deep to return the front of Ruben Rodriguez, who's standing at his 36. I guess you have to think he might try to throw again. Instead, he will deliver a kick to the deep man. Alvin Horn of Medford. He on the run takes it to the 15, to the 20, 25, 30, and he's out to the 43-yard line. And you can certainly understand Jim Crutchlow, as Reyes Jimenez brings Horn down. He returned it from the 10 all the way out to the 33, a 23-yard return. You can understand it very easily why he likes to return punts and kickoffs.
Well, you sure can. The big thing he did is he did not commit the Cardinal center where he turned and he caught that ball on the fly. It was coming down. A left-footed kicker is not what you normally see. And the ball does spiral opposite. It was coming down in first, the bottom in first. He caught it on the fly, full run, and returned it a good 15 yards. Got good field position out on the 33 for the West.
In all, he got that 23-yard return. And now the West trailing 60-0, thanks to a Ruben Rodriguez 48-yard pass to Jose Jesus Panuelos. Schooled him Jose once already. I better not do it again. And Jones comes in at quarterback. Play action fake. Rolls out of traffic. Sets up. Throws over the middle. He's got a receiver at the 47-yard line. Looks like the tight end came out of the backfield. Jesus Panuelos was there to handle it. And indeed it was. The tight guy, Scott Cunningham, out of Tulare Union. So the play carries all the way out to the 47-yard line. And that is a gain of 14 and a first down.
Kirk Thompson got in the backfield once again. Jim Crutchlow was right there. He had a good shot at him. He did. That's when Jones planted his feet early and hit his tight end before the strong safety could get over and cover. That was just quick reflexes by the quarterback, Matt Jones.
14-yard gain, enough for a first down. The West rolling up the first downs, and now we have motion and probably illegal procedure markers all over the field. And let's check in with Steve Brown with them in the quarterback.
And with Chris McDonough on the sidelines, John, Chris, you've been under a lot of pressure since you've been around. Nobody was getting there in the first quarter. Can you give us any suggestions what you might do to slow that big West line up?
Well, we might have to try some more draws or try some more rollouts on the outside, and so we can get out and throw the flat passes and get those outside linebackers and drops.
How about the spring out passes? I know you can be free-footed. Do you feel like you can get outside?
I can get outside. I feel I can.
All right, Chris McDonough will be attending Fresno State this fall. You know he's looking forward to that body and playing for Jim Sweeney. 6:43 to go in the first half. 6-0 East, West with the football. Following the 5-yard procedure penalty will be at the 42-yard line. Jones from the far hash mark on a delay. The handoff goes straight ahead and carrying out to the 46-yard line. Mike Brown, who was there to stop the ball carrier and plunging his way forward was Roger Beavers out of Delano. So Delano gets back the 5 yards that they lost plus a half yard, and it's going to bring up second down. Joining in the backfield, Aaron Foote now will come in at the tight end spot. Beavers has play carries 47 yards. We better double check that because Leon Shaver had the one long game. And they split backs in the backfield. Roger Beavers is back there, joined by Leon Shaver on the left side. It is a quick look-in pass, and it is caught by Aaron Boyce at the 45-yard line at the east before Todd Johnson can wrap him up. So on the second down and 10 play, it'll be a pickup of the ball at 8 and bring up third down and 2. That was a quick look-in pass, Jim Pritchard, very effectively with Flores, the flanker there to handle it. Flores, interestingly enough, is a quarterback, Monty, out of Panther High School. But he's at the flanker spot tonight as Matt Jones out of Aurora. His next-door neighbor gets the ball at QB. Settling up third down and 2. 5:27 left to go in the first half. 6-0. The East is leading the West, but the West is on the move. Backs strong left. Leon Shaver to the left side. Play action fake. Bieber the other running back. And there's Scott Cunningham out of Tulare Union catching a pass from his tight end spot all the way down at the 45-yard line. And that'll be enough for a first down before Kurt Wilson can come over and tackle him. Third out of Redwood High School. Tonight's game brought to you by Quality Muffler Service. Has everything in exhaust works for any car on the road. Now, nothing is too difficult for the pros at Quality Muffler Service. 1000 East Main Street in Visalia. Enough for a first down. Let's go to Jim Critchlow.
Jim, the tight ends are getting out scot-free when nobody is bumming them, and the defensive line is not putting their hands up. They get their hands up, throwing off those passes down.
Aaron Ford is the tight end, and he's strong right as the West is moving left to right. Flank to the right side, Alan Floyd. The left side Dodge, and now Dodge crossing pattern, and he's hit, and the pass is incomplete at the 25. It was released by the quarterback, Matt Jones, but the contact, Jim, appeared to come from Jesus Manuelos.
It did, John, and that time that guy Belengi, who was just come in to replace Kirk Thompson on his side. Got his hands up. He might have been able to intercept the ball. But again, the defensive front five, if you call it a front five, the Okie defense is not putting their hands up to knock down those little quick pops.
They call it a 52 defense. There's the East with the 5 guys up front. Passing department 8 of 10 for Jones with 75 yards to go. 4:56 to go in the first half. 6-0 East. West with the football. At the East, 35. There's a pitch to Beavers. Fumbles, gets it back. 35 still on his feet. 30. He's down to the 29 where he's wrapped up. Boy, that was a very fortunate play for Roger Beavers. He tumbled in the backfield at his own 35, but there's also a disgruntled Tom Kelm who came in and thought that he could wrap Roger Beavers up in the backfield. Finally, it was Mike Hill who had to bring him down at the 28-yard line. However, a gain of 6 yards will bring up second down and 4. Let's go to Steve Brown on the east sideline.
John, I don't know if you picked it up or not, but on that play, we got an outside linebacker on the right side. Number 26, Adam Bryant, took a break, and the Rebels had 10 men on the field.
Third down. Stand second. And on the board, it'll be 3rd and 3. As Jones comes out at quarterback. This young man's going to be a catcher for Oral Roberts University. Comes ball. Has his backs in the right formation. Drops the throw. Steps up. Over the middle. Pass is incomplete. And the tight end looked like Cunningham White. It was Scott at the 20-yard line trying to handle it, and it went right in and off his fingertips, Jim. And I know that you were standing right there. It looked like the ball was catchable. It's going to bring a 4th down and a big call.
He was. He only threw a very big target that time. They had it set up. He was wide open. Should have been caught. What happened was an inside blitz that time, and the coaches are, the West coaches are very upset. That's the second time that there's been a blitz in a position where it shouldn't come from.
Did not notice that, but we should mention that there's no stunning, no blitzing allowed outside the 20-yard lines. And also that mandatory defense, which is very important. 4 minutes, 3 seconds to go in the first half. The Laurie Kings County All-Star football game on PIAA. For the Bill, we've played Kevin of John and called the timeout. Coach up to looking back there. Very sharply, the score right now is 6-0.
The antenna covered up, and I don't think there's any control over there. No, I thought, only you have to control over your bottom door, that's all. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Take one more.
The Dennis Whitman, our on-location engineer tonight, and Bruce Moore handling our statistics. Let's go down to our sideline guy, Steve Brown.
That's okay, John. It's only close to look. Let's do business first half, so let's take it back.
All right, it's 4th down and 3. And a very big play for the West. 4 minutes, 3 seconds to go in the first half. 6-0 the East leads. Here's Jones rolling. Option pitch. Throws it to the right, Albert Horn. The Hempstead running back Trent. He's dropped at the 35. Still on his feet. Fights back to the 31. But he will not get the first down. And that time the East defense, Tim Davis out of a quarterback spot was there to lead the way. He got a lot of help. Rick Bavaria was there, along with Adam Bryant. And Steve, the defense, got the job done, and they'll take over the football at the 32-yard line.
You betcha, John. That's the end of the game. The defense came to the party. They made the big play. And the guy who really forced it got his teammates to make the tackle, Cam Davis. Again, I really shook up a little bit of hip on the right side to make the big play. And I think Coach Robinson, what they're going to do, they're going to put Kirsten Lamb in the ball game right now. They're going to set him, I think, at the right halfback spot. We're going to try to look quick trap in the middle.
Kirsten Lamb, of course, is listed as a flanker. So Mendonca will come out at quarterback, and we'll see where they will put Kirsten Lamb. And they do line him up in the backfield. He is the white halfback. They've got a halfback to the near side. Looks like Bavaria is in there. And there's Kirsten Lamb on a little counter play across the 30-yard line after about the 31. They also have Todd Johnson in there at a wide receiver, and that gain will come on maybe 2 yards. We'll call it 2nd down and 8. See the philosophy here offensively.
Right now, we've got to put the ball up. We're going to have to run some kind of passing play and probably some kind of curl-in play. I didn't catch what Coach Robinson just said in, but he just said the wide receiver moving back in the ball game, and they're going to run probably slot right curl-in.
Most important shortened. The clock, 2:36 in the first half. Second down and 8. Then Dorka rolls right. Behind protection. Gets a good block from Bavaria. And the pass is going to be incomplete. Intended for Damian Turley at the 47-yard line. The East tight end was really racked up that time by Scott Cunningham out of Tulare Union, who is now going both ways. He's in the defensive backfield, or actually in the linebacker spot for the West. So it'll bring up third down and 8.
That's just a little bit too tall, John. Chris, for the first time in the whole ball game, had time to throw the ball. And that's the guy was there. He just a little bit overthrew.
Let's go to some quick stats. The East rushing, no yards. On the ground, passing, 204 for 27 for Mendonca. Mendonca comes out at the quarterback spot. In the backfield is Bavaria, along with Kirsten Lamb. Mendonca splits the backs, drops to throw, and is intended for Turley, who we have a penalty marker, was incomplete at the 39-yard line. He was the tight end receiving at the 39, his own 39-yard line. And Stuart Laycock, who's there to rattle him around. And Jim, I kind of wonder, that hit looked a little early.
Not at all, John. That was just perfect execution. Came right over the top, knocked the ball away, and then wrapped him up at the same time. The low-thrown pass was just super defense by Laycock.
All right, Steve Brown, you're on the near sideline. You said you got to put it up, and now the clock shows 2 minutes and 21 seconds left to go, and a lot of time as Rodriguez stops the punt.
Well, this is a big punt. We've got to get a good distance on this, good game time, and great cover. We can't let those guys advance the ball.
Punting tonight, Rodriguez in that department has one kick that has already covered 56 yards. He takes the snap at his 20, delivers the kick from the 23. It is a low spiral kick handled by Alvin Horn at the West 27. He's out across the 30 and 35-yard line and finally brought down at the 40. Alvin Horn looks like he was zigzagging out there, Jim Critchlow, before. It looked like Mike Brown was there to stop him on the turn.
He was, and he had some blocks set up on this north sideline. Had he gotten to this north sideline, he would have gone all the way because the outside contain man was laying on the ground over here. That could have been a big play.
It's interesting to note in each of the two kicks, Brian Sneed of Woodlake, a 236-pounder, has been the first guy down on the punting team. And Horn is going by him as if he weren't there both times. It's not hard to beat out a 236-pounder in the open field.
The West on offense, 100 yards on the ground, 75 yards passing. At quarterback is Matt Jones. He's going all the way for the West. Has an I formation working, drops right, throws. He's hit as he releases. The pass is going to be caught. Aaron Cook, the tight end, in East territory at the 46, catches it. He's finally brought down, and third is Matt Jones on the 10 to the 31, but he apparently will be all right. Defensively, for the East, Kurt Wilson applying a lot of pressure, but it was Russell Cox out of Stratford who finally brought Aaron Foot, the tight end, down, and that was quite a play. Foot wide open, caught it at about the 46, run down at the 41-yard line. So on the play, it is a 19-yard gain. Jim?
Alvin Horn has got a Charlie Wilson. You see the real blow on the outside of his right leg. It looks like he'll be right after the halftime. He may not get back in until half.
Well, that was a hit in the backfield, John. I'll tell you one thing. He was blasted. I'm surprised he's still in there.
Aaron Foot, the tight end, has totaled 44 yards in receptions. Splitting the backs. Here's a delayed handoff to Shaver. He's trapped in the backfield. Gang tackled at the 43. It's going to be a loss of at least a couple. Leading the way for the Blue Jerseys was Don Morrell. Reyes Jimenez out of Woodlake was there. So they're two guys that know each other. It is Morrell out of Lindsay and Jimenez from Woodlake. So a loss of at least two, and we'll see where they will officially spot it. And they will put it down at the 43-yard line, so it is a loss of two. Clock shows 1:37 left to go in the first half. If you're just joining us here on KIWO Porterville, 17th annual Tulare Kings County All-Star Game, the East is leading on a 48-yard touchdown pass from Ruben Rodriguez to wide receiver Jesus Quintanilla. All right, here we go. The West trying to get on the board. The clock moving with 1:20 left to go in the first half. Three wide receivers go to the far side of the field. Dodds is winner. So is Leon Shaver. In traffic, Jones throws it up for grabs, and the pass is going to be incomplete. It was intended for Alan Floyd out of Hanford at the 20-yard line of the East. Defensively, Bernard Johnson was there, and Jim, you were right there to start that play.
And that was a simple down and out pattern, and then he broke up the field, and Russell Cox was completely out of position. I'm really surprised. Alan Flores turned inside, had his fingertips on the ball. If he'd caught it, it was 6 points, just a little bit out in front of him. Cox would have never caught it.
Also, at that stage, like Todd Johnson was over there, at least to apply some coverage as well. Bring down 3rd and 12. And the football at the 43-yard line, following the incomplete pass. Wide receivers going to the left side. It'll be Jim Dodds. Wayne Ross is also just inside him, and just inside Ross, Leon Shaver. The lone running back, Roger Beavers. Dropping to Forrest Jones on 3rd and 12. Sets up at his own 48. Throws over the middle. He's got Shaver at the 15. Getting hold. He sure did. At the East 15-yard line. First down and a very big pass play with a clock stop at 103. Let's go downstairs to Jim Critchlow.
We've got a penalty on that play, John, and I think it might be, I'm not positive, I hate to guess, but I think it might be a late hit on the quarterback after he completed the pass. Let's see.
Well, Matt Jones certainly clobbered, but it was a pass where Leon Shaver was able to handle it. Monty at the 15, down he goes, and the West has a lot of time to work with.
I'll tell you what, Jones put that ball right in there pretty good. There's a penalty. It's a personal foul, and it's declined, of course. It was a great pass, a fine reception. The defense was back deep, and he just curled back in there. Say, after the ball game, a great place to go, but Viva Pizza had it, 2232 South Mooney by Sager. They've got something other pizza places don't offer, and that's just good old table service. Just ordering your pizza, they'll bring it to you. They also have a great lunch working Monday through Friday from 11 to 2. Pizza Hut, 2232 South Mooney. I say you'll see you there right after the game.
122 yards passing in the game for Matt Jones. He is 10 of 14. And that last pass play covered 28 yards. Ball is at the 15-yard line of the East. The defense will try to skip it. It is first down and 10. A minute and 3 seconds to go in the first half. The West trying to get on the scoreboard, trailing 6-0. Jones comes out and surveys the defense with 5 down linemen. He'll pick up individually, man-to-man. Stunning comes up inside the 20-yard line. Quick looking pass to Jennifer Dodge. The Hawaii Union Products got it at the East 7-yard line. He just turned underneath the defense. Jesus Monguelos was the guy in the blue jersey who was there. However, it was Dodge who was able to handle the play at the 7, and it was a gain of 8.
That's a tough way to cover man on man, and I'm sure that's what Jones was checking up at the line of scrimmage. He looked out there and saw man coverage when he was split in, and he said, boy, let's just pick on that guy. So we've got a timeout called here with the clock stop. 32 seconds left in the first half. We're at the middle of King Bowl and a heck of a football game going on. We'll be back here with that big drive for the tying touchdown in 60 seconds. Critchlow got the play. Yeah. Okay, we got it. I'll leave the light on.
John Quinlan back at Middle King Bowl with Monty Moore. Jim Critchlow standing at the east end zone.
Looks like post corner fence. They will be coming very quickly for post corner right here on this right side of the field.
No indication on the jersey. Here we go.
No, I didn't want to talk too long because we got defensive people listening.
Understandably so. 32 seconds left to go in the first half. Wide receiver to the left side. It's Dodge. To the right side of the Ross. Jones, the quarterback to the north. Drops on second and 3. Quick pass over the middle. Incomplete. Batted down. What a great play by Russell. Cox on the spot.
Boy, I didn't know he was that big. He's only 5 feet 8 inches tall. And how he got in there, I don't know. Critchlow was standing right there.
Because he saw the play develop and he jumped. He's the one guy who got up in the high altitude that time. The line is up, put your hands up again.
Well, you look at this. Cunningham Critch, 6'4", 210. He's a big guy. He comes out, but he will not be at the tight end spot. The tight end will be Aaron Foote. He has 2 catches for 44 yards in the game already. Wide to the left is Dodge. Wide to the right is Ross. Backs are in an I formation. Third down and 3. 22 seconds to go. Jones rolling, pitches, goes to Horn. He's banged down at the 5. That's just going to be a gain of a couple, and apparently short of the first down. He is stopped by Whitten Delia. And the clock shows 14 seconds, and it's finally stopped, and a timeout is taken by the West. So with 14 seconds to go in the first half, and the East leading 6-0, but the West threatening. Let's pause for a moment.
Okay, let's take 60 here. I know he's going to take his time making this play. Take 60. Take 60 and go to Critch. They made the first down. Hey, John, first down play.
John Quinlan back, and then we'll keep moving by saying with Monty Moore. They had a measurement for a first down, and it was enough on the carry by Alvin Horn.
Which Jim Critchlow tried the defensive huddle. You guys have got to put the pressure. 52. Okay, 52. Inside, Donnie Willis. Okay. That's the defensive coach talking to the team right on the in the end zone.
That's right. And West has the football. It is first down and goal from the 5. And Monty, from where they had the markers put down, it looked like he was at least a yard short. But the measurement said no. And now the East will try to plug up defensively. 14 seconds to go in the first half. The East leading 6-0. Jones is at quarterback. He is apparently checking off at the line. Turns and talks to his receivers. He'll drop the throw. Up once. What will the receiver look like? Dodds in the end zone. He'll pass a touchdown. It is complete, and it is Dodds. Out of Tulare Union, who handles it. Pass from 5 yards out for the tying touchdown. Jim Critchlow is down there in the end zone.
John, thanks. I completely it's so loud that I can't hear, but what happened that time? The defensive coach, you heard him told Banuelos playing inside. What do? They break the man outside. I don't know if they checked it off or went away or what, but that was just a super pass. Great catch. Banuelos was on the spot, but not in time.
Well, I tell you, from any angle you see that one, that was a beautifully thrown pass, a beautiful catch, and not that bad a defense really didn't look like from here.
Not bad defense at all, but Dodds was there to handle it. And now Matt Jones will come in and hold the football from Stuart Laycock, who's trying to give the West the lead. Slow. Look out by Jones. But if it looks good, he is good. Boy, he kicked that one deep and straight. Out of those 8 seconds left to go here in the first half. We've got it dandy. The West dominating in the stats and finally out to the lead. It is the West of Mike Ensign 7, Leo Robinson's East 6. Stay tuned.
2:35. Gosh, they're just dominating the whole thing. 30's playing good right here.
Totally.
30's good here. We're going to go to Steve. We're going to go to Steve and just ask him what it's like down there right now.
Okay.
You know, if they don't think it hold them.
Right. John Quinlan, Monty Moore back. Losing my glasses. Let's go to Steve now. What's it like, Steve, on that east sideline? Got to be a little down at this stage. I don't know if he has his headset on. He has Leo Robinson standing next to him. The Bailey's team does not. Steve Brown, can you hear us? Bailey's talking with Leo Robinson, and I can understand why. All right, the East now has 8 seconds left to work. They've got to hope for a big break here on a long run, and they'll go back into the locker room trailing 7-0. The West has finally gotten on the scoreboard. A 5-yard touchdown pass to Jim Dodds from Matt Jones. The statistics are incredible. The West, total offense, 235 yards. For the East, just 94 total yards, and our score, 7-6 West. Last year, it was the West that came away with a very solid 32-21 victory. The last time that the East won was back in 1981 here at Mineral King Bowl on a 22-yard field goal by Kevin Tilley, and that was the only score of the game. And now Stuart Laycock, who has given the West the lead, kicks it low. It is angled in the direction of Eastman Rodriguez will pick it up at the 10, spin his way out across the 20, and down he goes at the 23. And boy, he got hit hard and dropped it to 23. Clock shows 3 seconds left to go. And the East will come out. It was Bob Badashi, the inside linebacker for the West Specialty Team unit there to handle the play. And now Ruben Rodriguez, who was in, surprisingly enough. Steve, that game was kind of a surprise to me, Steve Brown, but they have Rodriguez returning as they come down to the end of the first half. It's up there to Steve and Leo Robinson.
Coach Robinson, some reflections here in the first half, just for a moment. Well, we let them maintain possession of the ball a little bit too much on defense there. We let them make too many first downs there, but overall, our defensive team did a pretty good job. Offensively, if we can get a little pass protection, the patterns are there, and the quarterback's doing a good job throwing. It's just a matter of getting a little protection there. I agree with you 100%, Coach. Listen, we're wishing you all the best here in the second half. I know you want to get into the guys, and so we're going to take you back to John. Thanks so much, Coach Robinson.
It might be a little happier, Steve, around on the other sideline. Jim Critchlow standing with the Tulare Union Redskin head coach and West coach Mike Ensign.
Thank you, John. Mike is kind of in the locker room. You just say by the end, with the warm this evening down here on the field, by the end of maybe the third quarter, start of the fourth, that your big size might start to wear down that small defensive front 4 or 5 of the East team.
Boy,
like I said, although it could go two ways. It would be tighter because it's so big, or it would run down. We're just going to have to wait and see. We have little coverage on that first touchdown of theirs, and besides that, I think we can do real well. Okay, thanks a lot, Mike. Good luck to you. Just give yourself. Okay, John.
Thank you, Tim Pitchwell is working the west sideline. Steve Brown is on the east sideline tonight. We are at halftime where our score is the west 7 and the east 6. And let's pause for a moment before we return to recap the first half scoring and give you a listen to the COS marching band.
Take the individual stats too, I guess.
Passing department, 4 of 9 for 94 yards. Ruben Rodriguez out of Woodlake, 2 of 4 for 67 yards. And Clifton got the 2 of 5 for 27 yards. For West, rushing 18 carries, 100 yards. And it's easy to understand why. When Alvin Boyd and Leon Shaver, the 2 outstanding running backs, carrying for 100 yards tonight. In passing, 12 of 17 for Matt Jones out of Moore on his way to Oral Roberts for 135 yards. Again, total offense, 235 for the West, 94 for the East. To recap our scoring, the East got on the board first. And then this part of the first half, it took them only 2 plays. It was a 48-yard pass play from Woodlake quarterback Ruben Rodriguez to Jesus Manuelos out of Exeter. It was Manuelos catching the pass and right around over the 33-yard line and then rambled out into the end zone. The extra point attempt by Rodriguez was no good, wide to the left, and it was 6-0. The East was leading. But the West was to come back and collect the gears on 9 plays, and 60 yards later, a 5-yard pass play to Jim Dodds out of Tulare Union with just 8 seconds left to go in the first half. And then Jones was able to come in and hold the ball for Steve Laycock, and Laycock came in, stripped the uprights, and at halftime our score was the West 7 and the East nothing.
Okay, John, if we could get your earphones, we're going to be talking with Ryan Guerra, one of the directors of this All-Star game. He's in charge of the publicity. You might mention we are at the Middle King Bowl here in Visalia at halftime, about 11 minutes before we start the second half of this football game. And we've got a very pleasant night out here for football. I just hope you're enjoying the broadcast that we're able to give you with our sideline coverage. It's very unique. It's something we'd like to be able to do for all of our football games. We sort of save it every year for this one. It's our 6th straight year to do it. And many of you people who give us the permission to broadcast this game every year really have been special to us. We appreciate all the courtesies and everything you've given us. And let us say congratulations again on looks like putting together another fine football game.
Oh, thank you, Monty. I think the reports are probably really true. We appreciate the publicity we get from you. It's a lot of effort and a lot of time spent. It's well worthwhile.
Tell me about the worthwhile part of this football game, Ernie. Who is the sponsoring group over here, and where does the money go, and what is the charity that you work for?
It's the Visalia Optimist Club. On alternate years, it's the Lamar Kiwanis Club. On the other years, and I'd say what we do, we put all our money back into a youth sports fund. And the largest part of that is scholarships back to each one of the high schools that are participating. But we keep that money in a youth fund where it goes back to youth sports all over.
Boy, that is tremendous. We were saying before the game started tonight how much work there is to putting together some event like this. And I don't think we could ever really get that across how much it is getting all these players together and the coaches together and the concessions and the publicity and the stadium. Boy, there's a lot of work here.
Right. We get a lot of cooperation from a lot of people. We get, especially the school district. Without the schools, we wouldn't be here. That means each of the schools. Every school participates. The uniforms on the players that come to high school, their pads and practice jerseys and all that. The coaches volunteer an awful lot of time. I would say the coaches probably put in 100 or 200 hours on the game by the time all the preparation. So we appreciate all that.
Ernie, let's talk about the players. They first got together how long ago?
It's been about 3 weeks ago. We had a weigh-in dinner where we got together for the first time and kind of got acquainted and got some of the paperwork out of the way. And then then they began their practice about a week and maybe 2 weeks ago.
Where were their practice headquarters this year for the two teams?
The east was at Woodlake, at Woodlake High School, and the west at Tulare Union.
And I'll tell you what, it's got to be anything but pleasant working out the kind of weather they've had to work out in.
Pretty rough, really hot, they stuck to it, they worked real hard, worked 2 or 3 hours a night.
Traditionally, there's a big banquet dinner for these kids every year, kind of a barbecue or something. Did they have that this year?
Right, we had that last night. That's another time where the players get to meet each other, the both teams. This one, the parents were also invited.
It's a great night, I know, always for the kids and for the parents and everybody around the team. Where did they have it this year?
We had it at the COS Student Union.
Now, after this ball game is all over, these kids, a lot of them hang up their football pads for the last time. Some of the little kids that don't go in and play college, but it's a big night for some of these youngsters like the little Stratford kid is 5'8", 150-pounder out here playing. He's had a significant part in this first half of this football game. And you're getting feedback from the kids. Thanks so much for letting me play and inviting me on this kind of thing.
Well, once in a while we can get a letter, and then a lot of times later on in the years we meet some of these kids. Some of them become coaches and been on coaching staffs that were participating in the game. So we get a little feedback, man.
Well, it's very, very special that you did have this game. How do you feel about the crowd this year? We can't tell from up here if it looks as I know there are a lot of seats left, but how does this compare with other years?
It's been down the last couple of years. We don't think we have a large crowd. We've just somewhere between 2,500 and 3,000 the most. We'd like to have more, but for some reason we just don't have it.
What's been the biggest crowd you've had for one of these football games?
I would guess maybe 3,500 would be the hot.
It's just kind of hard to get people thinking football, I guess, this time of year, isn't it?
Right. Maybe the NFL, not the NFL, the USFL may have hurt us or helped us. We don't know.
Well, one thing that hurts you, I'm sure, things like the Dodgers on television and Major League Baseball this time of year, but the people who are here, it's a quality group, and they're seeing a heck of a football game tonight. And again, congratulations to the Optimist Club of Visalia, and let's continue having this football game every year and enjoying it very much.
Thank you, buddy.
Dave Viana, publicity chairman for the 17th annual Tulare-Kings County football game, and we are here at the Mineral Team Bowl in Visalia. You're listening to 99.7 FM. That's K100 on your radio dial, where you hear the $1 million sound of music every day, all day, and every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, the sound of the 60s featuring Gary Owen. This fall, we'll be broadcasting 16 games of the Visalia High School football teams. And right now, let's switch down to the field. Steve, now, if you can hold that microphone up, we'll get the COS band. This is Monty Moore, along with John Goodman. At the Minnow King Bowl, we've got some messages coming up for you in just a minute, John.
Monty, let's first pay tribute to Dean Dwayne Weston in the College of Sephora's band. I saw Dwayne downstairs. She's cooking in the box, and it is sounding Magnum P.I. And Tom Selleck, let's send you back to K100 for these commercial words with the West leading the East, 7-6.
There's three of them. 330s right here. This is Monty Moore. Down on the sideline, Jim Critchlow. Stick right there for just a second. Jim Critchlow, if you can hear us, stick right there. Just get together now and tell me what do you look for in the second half? I just asked the question, what we look for in the second half, and I kind of think that we just seen the West team. I think those guys were just getting on traction. It looks like to me they're going to roar during the second half. I don't know, but the East team did a few things right, but they were opportunistic, and that's important. But we took advantage of that. They held on to it for a while, but the West team got a lot of they really do. And like I said, it's either going to be one of two things. Either they're going to wear down the East, or the East is going to be so much pressure and quicker they're going to hold them out. I just thought you were 4 center down. I look for some kind of kicking here on the kickoff. I think this is the deep man who might pass the ball forward across field on a lateral. He might try to reverse. We've got to do something to kind of shake it loose. And so far, the kicking game is getting the ball game. And let's see what they can do when they receive the kick. That's a 2-4. All right, thank you very much, guys. By the way, you're doing a sensational job down on that sideline. I'll tell you what, that's really something that is entertaining for me to listen to. There are a couple of guys who really know the game of football, and to be able to get inside with the coaches and with the players and things like that, and they kind of work up a sweat down that line, that sideline, too. Well, we're at 7-6. We're at halftime. The West is caught from behind to lead just at the gun, almost at the gun at the end of the first half of the football game. Tremendous concluding drive right there, and great offensive play, sort of a post pattern right to the corner of the end zone. I like to see the one-on-one coverage on television all the time. When they want that touchdown from 5 yards out or so, they throw it up in the air and it's up for grabs. That's what we saw. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens here in the second half of the football game. The teams are both back out on the field now. Jim Critchlow over on the far sideline, and Steve Brown is right there talking with some of the officials at this very moment. I don't know what he might be talking about, but Steve, you have to hear anything that we might want to tune in on? Okay, Steve, standing right there talking with those guys. He's not hearing everything. We're hearing everything he says.
I want to know, has he ever thought about going into the shoe business, selling shoes?
He wouldn't do that for anything in the world.
Also, Jim Critchlow is standing on the far sideline. Jim, some quick observations. You have the West over there. We were talking about this before the game. Alec Flores, the quarterback who led Hanford to the runner-up spot in the Yosemite Division playoffs, is a very good quarterback. I'm wondering, do you think we might see maybe a pitch to long pass, a Statue of Liberty type play? What do you think?
Something like that, yes. This is an all-star game, and the kids are here to have a good time. Win if you can, but sure, let's get the people excited. That's what this is all about. Just talking to Mike Henson, too, he said that his offensive line coach did one thing that he wasn't even aware of in this first half. They rotated their line throughout the entire first half, so his entire offensive line, all 8 of them or 10 of them, are totally fresh. They are not fatigued at all. The heat has not bothered the offensive line, and if that's the case, the East will be in for a very, very long second half.
What I want to know is you over there talking to the officials, and I had heard that they were going to flag the west sideline for having 2 redheads over there.
Well, we're trying to have a little color over here. Yeah, they didn't get that. One thing the West is a little bit concerned with, and that's the East has been stunning in positions that they're not supposed to, and I think Steve's got something to do with there, so we'll throw it over there.
Okay, John, we're going to line up for the kickoff, and what we're going to try to do on this kickoff is we're going to try to get Rodriguez to field the football. I think he's going to run to his right and try to throw the ball across field to Turley on the kickoff.
What I want to know is why did they have Rodriguez in there returning the kicks? He wasn't initially listed to return kicks tonight.
I haven't checked that with Coach Robinson, but I think it would probably be
just over your right shoulder. I'm sorry, Steve.
Coach Robinson, there's a question about your quarterback in the ballgame returning kicks. Any particular reason why? Well, it was to set up the first play for this next task.
There you go. I kind of thought that was the case, Steve. You know, but Coach Leo is a crafty old lion, and he's been at this a long time, and he's had this guy returning kicks the whole first half to set up this one play.
All right, Ruben Rodriguez is slated to start in the third quarter. Yeah, I know you're having fun down there, aren't you, Steve?
I'll tell you what, listen, it's like being back in playing football yourself. You're down here with all the guys, you're hearing what's going on, what's being said, who's winning the battle and who's losing the battle.
You're just not getting hit, that's all. It's a pleasure. Here we go.
All right, indeed we do. East will huddle up down to the near sideline. Steve, why don't you stick your microphone in there and see if we can hear something from the officer.
That's down side 4. Now that's not right. Come on.
And there's breaking the huddle, Jim, to the other side, in the west.
Your zone, stay in your areas going down the field. Watch for reverses. Watch for any fake stuff. Watch them run this way, stop, and throw back the other side. Anything. Be aware. Stay in your lanes until you're sure the ball's coming upfield. All right? All right, let's get it. Come on. All right.
Hey, Jim, do we have a radio over there?
Boy, this is great. You know, it's not your insight. Both head coaches talking right here before the kickoff. We're in on it. They're not. And still they're preparing the guy for anything that might happen. I think this is just part of the game. Now let's see who's got the better of the two. The offensive trick play or the defense. See how well they stay in their lane.
Well, we're going to find out in a hurry. And the East now will drop Ruben Rodriguez deep to return to be joined by Ian Curley. And Curley also out of Woodlake. They will send 3 people back deep. And Kirsten Lamb out of Exeter is the third man. To the near side of the field, standing at the 5. Ruben Rodriguez at his home 5. Damian Turley standing at the 10. And the West will be kicking off right to left. And the East will be going the other way. It'll be Stuart Laycock, who is the difference in the game. His right leg is that difference with an extra point. With 8 seconds. First half that has given the West a 7-6 lead. And now we'll see where Rodriguez hits the ball. It is a low kick. Bounds at the 25. Takes a big hop over Rodriguez. Is headed to the 5. He carries it from the 1 and back into the end zone where they will wave it in and start at the 20-yard line.
Not so much for that play. a bad kick set us up for a thing. Jim Pritzlaw, looked as if your guys had their lanes pretty well covered anyway.
No, they didn't. I mean, that's just a perfect kick because that type kick cannot be thrown very easily, as we saw in high school. If the ball rolls into the end zone, it's automatic touchback. So that was a super job of kicking that time by Stuart Laycock from Tulare Union.
All right, the East will come out offensively with Ruben Rodriguez to work the third quarter and Chris Mendonca to go in quarter number 4. It is 7-6 West. The backs, Steve Sand in the backfield with Jeff Bavaria dropping the throw from the 10. Is the quarterback and he finds Todd Johnson. So Ruben Rodriguez finds Todd Johnson at the 35-yard line. The pass is complete, a gain of 15. It'll be first down and 10. And on that pass play that covers 15 yards, we noticed that on the West defense, one of the defensive backs, Mark McCaleb, was over there along with Gabriel Vasquez. All right, Steve, you've got your arm around the hitman Ian Robinson. What are you going to do offensively?
We're going to move to the right side here. We're going to throw a look into the right side.
Damian Turley, who's normally a tight end, will come out to the near side, and he has flanked a good 10 yards off into the right tackle. And at quarterback is Rodriguez. Has his back strolling right. Bavaria is in the backfield, joined by Steve Sand. And rolling and setting up. Here is Rodriguez, and there's the pass to Turley. He juggled it and dropped it at his own 47-yard line. Oh, my, Damian Turley had it in his hands. He like a juggler. He wasn't able to hold on.
John, it looked to me like that wasn't the play they had. Oh, Steve, you could take a little route breaking right there, and you said he was going to curl in, and he curled in, he wasn't there, and he came back to the outside, the pass was there.
I think Money, anytime a receiver looks to the inside, you saw him break to the inside, then he broke back out. He was breaking away from the coverage. He was just running away from the coverage, which is a design play.
Rodriguez, 3 of 6 for 82 yards, Monty. Steve Brown downstairs, Monty Moore and JQ upstairs. 11:38 to go in the third quarter. 7-6 West. Second down and 10 following the incomplete pass juggled by Tully. Rodriguez from the far hash spot. Drops to throw. Sets up at the 25. He looks for Johnson. Has him at the 50. He's to the 45 of 43-yard line. Todd Johnson, a circus catch. Jim Critchlow.
It really was. Roger Beavers that time went for the interception. If he'd got it, it was touchdown to the West squad, but he didn't make the interception. Great catch and turned it into a big play, first down for the East.
Roger Beavers out of Delano, a near interception, but it's Todd Johnson of Woodlake who turns the trick, picks up the first down for the East, and in the first down department, the East now has 5 first downs in the game. All right, the East is out in the move. The drive started at the 20-yard line. Steve Brown, it's yours.
We're going to run a sweep, I think, to the right side, John, but it is going to be the sweep.
They're back strong left. The handoff comes to Steve Sand. He rolls right. It is a sweep right. He slips down at the 43. Oh, and then he gets up and he's rattled around and a marker goes down. And I'm not so sure about that, Monty Moore. The defense doesn't know. Cunningham is over there. He bangs him around a little bit, and so does Scotty Woods. However, Sand on the sweep right slipped down at the 43-yard line, and then he got up as if he was going to run. Now, if you're reacting, Steve Brown, aren't you going to hit the guy?
No, John, because I heard the whistle. If I can hear the whistle, they can hear the whistle. So that's a good call by the official.
That's something. We had a hard time hearing the whistle up here. It just looked kind of up. You're right there. If you didn't hear it, you're bad hearing.
I heard the whistle.
It's a tough play. They had the defense pretty well contained over there, though.
Not being a former football player, I can tell you I'm not so sure I can hear the whistle. Well, that's a good call by the officials, and it is the second penalty for the West. They now have 20 yards of penalties on the game. That is also the 6th first down for the East. They have the football, the penalty mark stopped to the 28. Handoff goes to Kirsten Lamb. He'll reverse to his left. Penalty marker down as he gets inside the 30, and down to the 25. Probably a hold. We'll have to wait and see. And the ball down at the 25-yard line. 28 Solano of Hanford was there to wrap up Kirsten Lamb, who, by the way, has been nursing a very sore ankle. Steve Brown on the East sideline.
Well, we got holding on the East number 75, Brian Steve.
He was out in front of the play, Steve, and it looked like he just turned that end around and grabbed him and turned it around.
Well, he was trying to hook block him, and instead of trying to position with his body, he reached out with his inside arm and yanked him around, so they caught him.
For once, I guessed right. 10:49 to go in the third. Thanks, Steve, for the update. And the hold and penalty now will be marched on. They will march it from just shy of the 31-yard line, so that negates the gain by Kirsten Lamb down to the 25. The football will be brought all the way back to the 46-yard line, which means a loss, basically 21 yards on the roll.
Big loss, too, because the East team, John, has an outstanding kicker. Kid who can kick that ball a good 40, 45 yards for a field goal, and they were getting very close to field goal range right there where they could have taken the lead. That's a big, big penalty.
East penalties, 2 for 20 yards. And now the East sends Damian Truly to the near side of the field. To the far side of the field, the East will send Steve Sand. It is Jeff Liberia in the backfield with Kirsten Lamb. Rodriguez drops the ball, sets up at his own 44 and lobs it up for grabs. Truly turns the wrong way. The ball is intercepted by Stuart Laycock at the West 26. He turns it out to the 35-yard line. A return of 9. Stuart Laycock able to turn around right in front of Damian Truly, pick off the pass. First interception of the night for Ruben Rodriguez. And Marty, an interesting note. Steve Brown, I don't know if you saw that or not, but Tony Isolano got a piece of Ruben Rodriguez, came over and shook his hand after he got up. Let's go to Jim Critchlow on the other side.
It's Stu Laycock will be right here. Stu, what defense were you in that time? We come to the sky. Okay, which is mainly end zone. Zone, I had deep outside. Deep outside. That time you looked like you just suited up for grabs and you grabbed it. Okay, thanks. Good job, Stu. Okay, JQ.
West for the football at his own 35-yard line. First play of the series. And a quarterback is Jones. Hands off to Alvin Horn out of Hanford, and he gets nowhere. He stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Boy, they strung that play up pretty good. They just kind of grabbed him up over the center and dragged him down to the tackle spot. A whole host of blue jerseys there for the defense, including Dan Clayton. And Steve Brown, Dan Clayton, the nose guard, very quick, as we understand it, off the ball.
Well, Dan is extremely quick. He stayed with his block that time. He just fielded. They tried to trap him. He fielded block down the line and filled the hole. Got help from the inside linebackers. Mike Hill did a good job. So, they kind of changed up. They've been throwing on first down. That time they tried to run it. Let's see what happens now.
9:45 to go in the third quarter. The west of Mike Henson leading the east of Leo Robinson, 7-6. Thanks to a 5-yard pass play from quarterback Matt Jones to Jim Dodds. Jones, quick looking pass. Intended round Forrest, intercepted by the east. And it is Kent Davis out of Porterville at the 50-yard line, sliding to handle it. Well, there's the case where Forrest, the flanker, Steve Brown, appeared to be wide open. The ball apparently overthrown, and right there, opportunistic, is Kent Davis.
Jim, what cover were you in on that call? Zone cover? We didn't have a man-to-man going. All right, good job, Kent. You're right, J. Kent. If you notice on that particular play, the defensive lineman from the east got their hands up, which forced the ball to be thrown a little bit higher and overshot his target. Kent Davis comes up with a big steal.
Jim Critchlow, west sideline, in a hurry.
That's on the west side of the line. He just went through the ball, Davis, an opportunistic interception.
Back-to-back turnovers, and now the east has it for its second series of the second half with 9:15 to go. And the west inside handoff goes to the flanker Ray Jimenez, who is in the ball game, and he is stopped just about at the line of scrimmage. Whole host of white jerseys there, led by Scott Wood out of Hanford, who will attempt COS to make the stop.